Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by the shop. Another Screwy Tuesday. I appreciate you swinging by. So let's go first off the new introduction. Hey, I ripped it off from Randy Richard. Watching his video the other day, I liked how he kind of went through a little mix real quickly of different items he has built. And I thought I'd add that in the front of mine today. Got any comments on that other than being a thief? If you like it or dislike it, let me know. The second thing is you're going to see a clamp design that I did for this welding table here. And I'd love to say that it was my brainstorm, but the other day my good friend Carl, you've seen him. I don't know if you've seen him, but we've done videos at his shop, the Comparador, the Gortons, wonderful friend. Anyway, I was talking about what I wanted to do. I was wanting to modify this piece, which is the mount to the table, and it's the mount to this arm. I think that's in there. I'm going to get out of the way here in a minute. But anyway, I wanted to remake it, and he gave me the suggestion of the clamp. And I really want to thank Carl. This device here, this table, which rotates and adjusts, and I'm going to stand up here, get the chair out of the way. So I showed this back in Quickie number 5. This was on my old bench. This is another thing I saw. Somebody else had done it on the web. It can move, it can extend, and you can change heights. Well, this piece goes on the end of it, and I basically had it like that. And I wanted to modify this. And the reason I was modifying it, you'll find out in the video. But the second thing is, I can either use this whole arm attachment, or now I've got it set up also that I can just mount it to the side of my welding table and it'll still be adjustable. So I hope you enjoy the video, and as always, I appreciate you stopping by on a Tuesday to see me. Okay, well, I just showed you the video, or a couple of photos, of the arm setup that I had made on my old welding table. And I was looking to adapt it to this welding table. And I had actually purchased, you can see down low right down there, there's some tubing, and so I was going to make tubing receivers for this piece in the gooseneck, which you can see over there in the background. And this idea came to me, where just taking and actually bolting it here on the edge of the deck, or the table, and it gives me the ability to roll it however I want, and then yet it still rotates there also. So I think it's a simple, quick setup that I can use on my welding table. Well, but I got to do a little repair to it, or an improvement. Let me move the camera around. Well, let me move the camera around for a second. So when I built it, I thought I was pretty smart, and I put in this beveled socket cap screw. Is that what they're called? Socket flathead screw, and I can tighten it and lock it into position. But the other day when I was looking at it, I said, well, that wasn't so smart. I can't put something over that and then loosen it and move it. So here comes the change. What I'm planning on doing, I'm going to move the camera again one more time, is go ahead and make a new attachment. So see, I got a piece of angle there, so I'll go ahead and cut a new piece of angle iron to replace this one. And then I've gone off camera, I've machined 2 pieces of pipe. And so what'll happen is this guy will get welded onto the angle, and this one will be welded to the plate, and it'll slip over it. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a friction clamp here that will close down so that this can't turn. And then on top of that, I'll end up making like a Tommy bar to tighten here and a Tommy bar to tighten there, so I don't have to use wrenches. So that's the plan. So the first thing is to get the whole clamp mechanism built. So I'm going to work on that right now. Be a couple of saw cuts, to relieve it, and then a saw cut in the center, then weld some tabs onto it where it can be bolted and pinched onto the pipe. Well, not really a necessary step to do, but since I have the expanding mandrel and like playing with my toys, I thought I'd clean up the outside of that pipe. I'd already bored the inside of it so that it would slip over the smaller diameter. So just having some fun. So just some quick layout with the height gauge. I know what the center of the pipe is, 946 thousandths. So just touch the top, zero the height gauge, come down to 946, struck a line, and same thing on the side. Touch the top, zero, strike a line, and I get my layout on the pipe. So now it's ready to start going ahead and cutting it. Okay, well, Mr. Bozo started to make an appearance in my shop. So I've made the two pieces off camera that are going to attach to this part. It's already drilled and tapped and threaded, so go together. So you can see I've got a nice large multi-flute end mill in here, and it's basically the same size as this pipe. And I was cutting a radius, so when I go to weld it on there, oh, it's fitting nice too. Fits real nice on there, but it doesn't go that way. It goes across. It's a straight line. Just was fitting it and looking at it and going like, oh, that don't work. That's back asswards. It's supposed to be that way, so it's flat. So we get to stop this procedure right now and move on to something that'll work. But old Mr. Bozo, at least I caught it early enough before sitting here killing an end mill or wasting my time. get it out of back gear. There it goes. Now let's see if I can clean this guy up without throwing the part out of there. Gonna have to move you guys. I have to move you guys. Let's see, I'm looking for about 3/4 of an inch. Got a ways to go. It's looking fairly close. One more pass. Okay, I think that's going to work. So here's the two parts that'll get welded onto the tube. One's threaded and one has a clearance hole. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld them on the tube first, and then I'm going to leave an 1/8 inch gap and then reach down in there with an end mill and slice the tube. I think that's going to work out better than trying to weld this when it's all freed up. So we'll see. Well, I got it set up for welding. Got the finger holding it down, got it on my center mark. I've got 2 washers in there to spread it. That way I can reach down in with an end mill. It's about 125 thousandths. I'm gonna go handheld here. Pardon the, I'll give you a better look. I don't know if that's focusing or not, but we'll weld it there on that side. And then come over and get some tacks here, get the bolt out of there, the washers out of there, and give it a weld and see what it works. Then cut the slot and then cut the slits on each side. So we'll give it hell and be back. Well, can't tell if it's in focus or not, but I got it welded, and we will, sorry for the handheld here, guys. Welded on both sides. Got my gap, and we'll go down in there with an end mill and open it up, see how this thing works. Well, here's the clamp piece all finished up, and it works real well. If you tighten it down, and I don't plan on using a screw, but if you tighten it down, it locks real nice. open it back up, and it releases. So that's going to work good. Now what I mentioned in the start of this video was I had it back asswards. This piece will go on the angle iron because I don't want it to rotate. I always want it in the same position. And the smaller piece will be the one that will go onto the welding table. So in welding this on the table, of course I'd like it to stay nice and perpendicular. So I was thinking about it, and I'm going to move the camera here for a second. You know, I have this center hole here, so dug around in my scrap box, found this slug, and as you can probably see, there's the seam in the pipe. So I said, well, I could go and bore that out, but I found this slug that had a keyway in it. Just happens to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece off and then weld that in to the plate, into the pipe here. Then I'll drill and tap this, and then I'll tighten it back down to the bottom side. And it'll be twofold. One, it'll align this for welding, and then secondly, I'll have a drilled and tapped hole in the center, the same as all the other holes on the plate. So that's next, but you can see it won't turn in there because of but it worked out well. I don't have to fool around machining. I've showed this tool before that I made, but I thought I would just share it again. Basically, it's for holding parts in the horizontal bandsaw is what I use it for. So you have a fence, you can put the part straight against the fence and tighten it down with a mill clamp, and now this will sit in the vise. I'll show you a picture here, and then we'll cut off a piece. So it really works super for holding small parts and using the horizontal bandsaw. Could use it in the vertical, I guess, also, but you won't get as straight as cut probably. I'll show you over in the saw. So here's the setup in the saw. You can see the plate there puts it square in the saw, and you can line it up right with the edge of the fence wherever you want. Works out really well. Well, I got to tell you, I just love that saw. 496, 498. Not a bad 496. 499. Can't beat that saw, boy. It just cuts straight as heck. Okay, now we'll get this guy welded into here, and then go over to the lathe and drill and tap it. Thought I'd show you my setup for welding this. So put a bolt into the table, my part down, and the bolt will set my height so I can go ahead and get a little weld inside there. Okay, got the stub welded on, and now this guy gets welded onto the angle iron, and we'll move on. Here's just a quick view of the setup to go ahead and get some tacks on this piece right here. Okay, got the 4 tacks on it. I think you can see them there. So go ahead and take it off there and get some welds on there. Well, you guys are still watching? Well, I'm just debating. My weld's not too bad for a schmo, and usually it's probably got enough on there, but usually when I try to continue on, I make a mess. But what the hell? Let me finish up. Well, I finished it without botching it, but a pro would have had the beads going all the same direction. But hey, I'm no pro, but I know it's going to stick. We'll get it cleaned up and get it bolted to the bench and give it a run. Okay, I'm liking it. There she spins. And they're nice and tight. Way better than what I had before. Excited about it. Loosen that back up. And can adjust to angles. Anything I need. Now just to make the Tommy bolts. And don't know if I'll get that in this video or not. But so I don't have to use wrenches or screwdrivers. So hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you go out and make something for your welding table.